Hi everyone, and welcome to your online midweek lesson. I wanted to create a really brief sound slide to sort of walk you through today's lesson that has to deal a lot with dialogue. What dialogue can do is it can first move your story forward, but at the same time it can also bring the characters in your story to life. Some of you may not be able to recall any conversation between yourself or other characters in your story, so if that's the case, then I expect that you would be able to make up one that could have happened. So let's just quickly walk through what makes effective dialogue versus ineffective dialogue. So first off, why do we even use dialogue? Dialogue can be a powerful tool in writing, as we've already talked about. It can help move your narrative forward. Dialogue deepens the features of your characters by creating immediacy and intimacy. In other words, dialogue can help evoke empathy with your readers. So what makes effective dialogue? Well, your dialogue should reflect the characters' true personalities, their mannerisms, anything about the person that can reflect their true self. As college writers, we often have the tendency to write in a formal way. Don't allow your dialogue to sound stiff or contrived. You'll also want to try to avoid useless chatter between the characters. The dialogue should help move your narrative forward. Also, dialogue is not a way to fill space in your narrative. It should work hard to try to strengthen the story that you're trying to tell. Alright, so what makes ineffective dialogue? Well, if all the characters sound alike, it's hard to differentiate who's saying what. So for example, how are speaking patterns different between a corporate CEO, a 5-year-old child, and a football jock? Also, what makes ineffective dialogue is boring or flat dialogue. So for example, if someone asks, "How are you doing today?" she asked. "Fine," I said. Well, if this is pertinent or if this is relevant to your personal narrative, think about how you can just summarize this. So for instance, she asked how I was doing while I was cleaning the dishes, or if I was driving in my car, however else you'd want to continue that statement. So instead of trying to add in dialogue that's meaningless to your story, try to see if you can somehow add that in with description or somehow summarizing that. So just a reminder, you are allowed approximately 1 page of dialogue in your personal narrative. What this means is that most likely most of you will break this up into different sections. So for instance, you may have bits of dialogue in your opening paragraph, and then you'll continue the conversation later on in your narrative, maybe with even a different person at that time. You're not required to use any dialogue in your paper, but I do encourage you to use it to strengthen your narrative.